We are going to start by creating a design, and then you will head over to the printmaking station where you will be using what these are called as sprayers to actually roll ink onto your foam printing plates that you are going to create today. So the first thing we're going to do is this piece of paper is going to be handed out to you. Please go ahead and put your name and your class code here. In this box, you're going to create a design. You can use, there are these little hash marks here that are inch marks that you can create lines if you want your design to match your watercolor and be a radial design. You would curve your lines to match like this. If you want it to be line designs, you can do lines any direction that you would like. You can do organic lines that are soft and curvy. If you want to draw a picture of something in the middle of your lines, you can do that too. It's really whatever you want. You're going to be cutting this out. So if you want to use the outside area to brainstorm, you absolutely can. There's also a second box on the back. So if you don't like your first design, you can try again back here. So once you take this to your desk, you're going to have your pencil. There are rulers in your bins. There is also this worksheet in your bin to help you, lines and patterns, to maybe start building some ideas for you. And then you are just going to start to draw your design. If you want it to curve, you can curve. If you want it to match on and make a perfect circle around, then you would want to match your line to hit these little marks that are made there, the inch mark lines, so that it will look like a round circle once it's printed. Any area that you shade in like this, that area is going to be greater relief, which means it's going to, like a stamp, it's going to be, these areas will be higher, that area will be pushed down, and then you'll see your paper underneath in those areas. I'll show you what I mean when I start printmaking. Once you get to your artwork looking like this, you're going to show it to me. Once you get a teacher check and I say it looks great, your next step is you're going to go to your desk and you are going to start to cut out your box. You're going to cut it out all the way around until it looks like this. Once your box looks like this, what you're going to do is you're going to go and get a piece of foam. It will be plain. It won't have any dirty ink on it like this one. But you're going to get foam and then you're going to put a piece of tape from your foam onto your paper that you just cut out, connecting the two together. And then from there, you are going to take this back to your desk. You're going to first use your pencil, and you're going to the point where you might rip your paper like this. You're going to push those lines hard into your design. Once you flip it open, if the relief, like this example right here, is not great enough, meaning that with your pencil, it didn't quite show up. I have some lines right here that are just not quite showing up. You would go back with your wood tool and you're going to push much harder into those lines until they show up for you. And then once they show up, they're nice and deep, and then they will print really well. Okay. After you get to the point where you have carved your whole design into your printing foam, please show it to me, and then I'll say it looks great. I might also say, oop, go back, carve a little deeper. If it isn't carved deep, what happens when you roll the ink is that it just ends up printing like a big flat black area. And what we really wanted to do is we wanted to create more of a stamp where it leaves areas to show with your lines on your artwork. Once you feel like you have carved your whole thing in and you got a teacher check, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to peel your paper off. This can now go into the trash. You're going to walk over to the printing area. At the printing area, you're going to put your printing plate down. Your artwork, your watercolor that you did before, it says place artwork here. And then there's a wet brayer and a dry brayer. Your wet brayer, there's going to be some wet ink at the top. You don't want to go into all of that wet ink. It's too much ink for your printing plate. And you don't want to see any area where it looks like there might be kind of a thick amount of paint on it, because that's too much. What you want it to look like is just one even coat. You can go two directions if you want to kind of spread any ink around. An even coat of ink on there without it looking goopy anywhere. Once you have that, you're going to flip it over. You're going to find that arrow that you drew on the back. That's really important because that always needs to point in the center. You're going to line it up at the corner, and then you're going to use your dry brayer, and you're going to push hard over the dry brayer. Make sure you get the edges, make sure you get the bottom and the sides. If you're pressing hard, 3 times will be enough. If you're pressing a little lighter, you might want to do a few more. And then you have a beautiful transfer of ink onto your artwork. And now you're going to do that 3 more times. Each time you're going to rotate it so that your arrow always points in the center. So I'm re-inking it. I'm going to turn it over. Oh, my arrow needs to point in the center now. Line it up in the center, not off of the edge of your paper, because your paper might be a little big like this one. Hold it and then press hard. And you're going to peel it off, and then it transfers. So 2 more times. And there you have a beautiful watercolor printmaking artwork. This can go into the trash, and then this you can put on the drying rack when you are done.